Hi everyone and welcome to another video from Colour with Claire. So yesterday on my Facebook page I did a bit of a live stream, just a relaxed colour and chat type thing while I coloured these crystals in the book Sagor och Sagna. And a few comments came up asking whether I'd done an actual tutorial on this, and I didn't really think I needed to because it's just so easy and you could just see me doing it on the live stream. And it didn't really need a kind of tutorial to show you how to have the skill to do it, but I think you know, looking back, that maybe it would really help people to actually have a step-by-step tutorial, even if it is, you know, really simple. I often don't do tutorials because I think they're just too simple and there's nothing really for me to teach you, but there are a lot of colourists I know that would really appreciate sort of being shown step by step how to do things, no matter how easy I think they are. So that's why I thought I'd do this quick tutorial on how to colour these lovely multicoloured crystals using Derwent Inktense pencils. Now I have done a speed colouring video on the channel before doing these kind of multicoloured crystals, but I did those with normal Prismacolor pencils I think, and it was a sped up version of me doing it. So this video is just going to be me showing you real time, step by step, how to achieve this look using 4 Derwent pencils in the Inktense range. So first of all, choosing your colours, what I did was I went through my swatch book and I chose 4 of the brightest colours: yellow, pink, blue and green. So I chose the brightest one from each colour family, and I have kept it very limited because I wanted it all to look really cohesive, and I think sometimes it can be better to have a limited colour palette. It just looks better to the eye rather than having so many colours that it's really busy, but you can use as many colours as you want. So the actual colours I chose were iris blue, fuchsia, cadmium yellow and apple green. So they're the colour choices I chose. You're also going to need a paintbrush and water or an aqua brush like this. And this is actually okay on this paper, so sometimes when you're adding water, colouring book paper can rip or it can sort of go a bit wavy and wobbly, but this one, it hasn't buckled much at all. I'll just show you the other side. Not sure whether the camera's going to pick it up, but there's a few little ripples, but it's not going to affect me colouring that page whatsoever. It's not that bad. And the other thing about Derwent Inktense is that you do not need a lot of water, so it's not like you're covering your page in a complete wash, so that will help as well. Same as well with the pencils, they do not need a lot of pencil putting down to get a rich vibrance of colour, so a little goes a long way with both the pencils and the water. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now as you can see, I've done quite a lot of the crystals already, but I have left 4 or 5 here just for the purposes of this tutorial. And it really is as simple and easy as just choosing a facet of the crystal, so any face of the crystal, picking a colour, doesn't matter which. And there's 2 ways you can do this. So if you're working with quite a small facet, say for example this diamond here, you can just choose one corner of the facet, any, it doesn't matter, and just lay down a little bit of the pencil alongside the side that you've chosen. Now if it is a small piece like this, you can use just one colour, you don't need to use 2. So for example, I'm just using the fuchsia on this one, and all you need to do is just put a little bit of water along the line that you've coloured and just drag it out. So you don't need a lot of pencil putting down. If you did colour with the pencil quite a lot of the facet, it would all be very solid block colour, but because we've only sort of coloured a very narrow line here, when we drag it out, it sort of drags out to a very pale hue, of a pale tint of colour. So that gives that sort of gradation look. So you do not need a lot of pencil at all. Now if you're colouring a larger space like this here for example, you can bring 2 colours into play, and it really is up to you which 2 colours you choose. Obviously if we choose blue and yellow, we're going to end up with a green in the middle, which is really quite nice. I've done that on a few of these facets here. If we choose blue and pink, we're going to end up with a nice purple in the middle, and yeah, so you really can put pretty much any of these colours together and they'll all merge together really nicely, so it doesn't matter which you choose. But I think I'm going to choose, let's go for the pink and the blue, because they're going to make a nice purple, and that sort of adds another colour to our palette. So again with the fuchsia, I'm just doing a little bit on one side. That's it, that's literally the amount you'll need. And then on the other side, going in with the iris blue and sort of doing an equal and opposite amount of colour. So I did do this on my colour and chat yesterday on the live stream on Facebook. But as I said, a lot of people sort of said, can you do a proper tutorial for this? So that's why I'm doing it. So we're taking the water brush or the paintbrush and water to the fuchsia, and we are going over the top of the pencil and we're dragging it down till it's very, very light. You can just keep playing with it until it's completely smooth. Use a piece of paper to clean your brush off. I use my hand, not recommended, but that's what I do. So you can use paper or kitchen roll. Now I'm going in on this blue, and we're going to merge both colours together in the middle. And as you can hopefully see, we've got a lovely purple shade. I'm just going to bring out a little bit more pink. And we've got a nice central area of blended purple. So again, you don't need much water, you don't need much pencil, and you get a really nice blend. Now, if you're not happy with the blend, if you don't think it's seamless enough or whatever, what you can do while it's still wet, because obviously you can't go over it with the pencil, is you can take some colour directly from the pencil onto your brush, and you can add it in anywhere you want. So you see how I've just added in extra colour? And then you can wipe that off and blend it with a clean brush. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But there's sort of two ways. So you can do it with one colour, you can do it with two colours, totally up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in the rest of these crystals. It's very, very quick as well, which is brilliant. So I've just spent quite a while doing a coloured pencil Prismacolor page. It was in fact in this book. Not sure if it's on this side or this side. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Here we go. So I spent quite a while doing this page with coloured pencils, and there was lots of blending, and it took ages and ages. So I really was just wanting to do something that was quick and easy, and working with Derwent Inktense is exactly that. So I'm going to take a green and put a little bit in this corner facet. So what I try and do, because it's limited colours, is sort of not put two colours against each other. So I've put the green on this facet and the blue here on this facet, so no similar or the same colours are touching each other. I'm then going to do some more of this fuchsia down this side, and I might even put a little bit of yellow on this side just to counteract it, because they go together really nicely as well. So you really, as you can see, you do not need much pencil putting down at all, because it just, as soon as you touch the water to it, it just goes incredibly vibrant, and you really can pull it a long way across whatever it is you're colouring, and that colour sort of saturation stays the same. So there we go, easy, easy, simple, quick. So just under here I'm going to do some green, and I might just leave that one completely green, but again, you're going to have a darker, more saturated green at one side, and then pulling down to a lighter green, so it still gives that look of dark to light, that gradation, and it's so quick. Let's do some yellow on this side, and then maybe a bit more pink on this side, just a little bit in the corner there. So if you've never used Derwent Inktense before and you're not sure what they are, they're not a watercolour pencil like you would find, you know, your Staedtler watercolour pencils, aquarelle pencils. these pencils are actually made of ink. They're not made of paint. So they are incredibly, incredibly intense, hence the name. And they are my favourite sort of water-based pencils to use. I mean, watercolour pencils are really, really nice. They can look very subtle and like a lovely wash, but the intensity of these makes them my favourite go-to water pencil. So I'm gonna add a little bit more fuchsia, I think, just into this corner, just to brighten that up a bit. Wipe off the brush and then blend it back in. So I hope you all had a really good weekend. My children have gone back to school after the Easter holidays here in the UK. So they've just gone back to school today. So I'm really missing them at the moment. I've been used to spending all that time with them over the last 2 weeks, and then they've gone. But it is nice, I must admit, to have some me time, to have a bit of peace and quiet, and to be able to get back into the blog and you know, do the things I like to do, which I can't do when the kids are here because it's just so noisy. So adding a bit more green to saturate this side, blending it back in. So let's just carry on doing a few of these crystals. I don't want to make this a super long video because the tutorial part is such a short part. It's super easy. You just put some pencil down, put some water down, and that's literally it. So I'm not going to make it a really long video because it's not really a colour and chat video. It's just intended to be a quick tutorial of how to do this. But before I move on, and I'll probably do the rest of the crystals off camera actually, just for time purposes, but before I leave you, I'm going to show you what I usually do after all the crystals are dry and just as a finishing touch. So you all know probably by now that I love using white gel pen to do dots and lines and highlights on things. I feel like it really just is that finishing touch to bring out the best of the image. So what I usually do is I go to the darkest side of whatever the colour is on the facet, and I will make a lovely little line here, there and everywhere. There's no rhyme or reason to this, so just anywhere you want to go. You can even go just slightly more into the middle. It doesn't have to be right against the edge, and these lines just give it a look of it being shiny and glassy. So you can do lines and dots in a combination of those, or you can do just dots, or you can do just lines. It's totally up to you, but you can just put them anywhere you like, and it just really sets off the crystal. You don't have to do every single facet. You can just do bits here and there just to show the impression of it having light hitting it. You can do ones that are sort of L-shaped like that sort of follow the contour of the crystal, and you can just mix it up and keep going and do as much or as little as you like. I'm going to do this corner here, and I'm going to finish it off with 2 dots at that side. You can do a combination of anything you like, and I just love it. You can even, if you wanted to, go to one of the corners of the facet, do a line across the corner and a line above, so that you're getting a cross shape or a plus shape, and then you can make a diamond if you wanted to, not a diamond, like a star shape if you wanted to, just to show that there's some light hitting that and creating a sort of light burst. So try and keep it tapered quite thinly. That can be a bit difficult with these thick pens, but once it's dry you can sort of scrape it with your nail to make it narrower, and you can just go through adding lines here, there and everywhere. And that is the basics of how I would colour multicoloured crystal clusters with Derwent Inktense pencils. And as you can see there from the example I did, it's so quick, it's so easy, and anyone can do it. Literally anyone can do it. So it might be a nice thing to teach your kids if they want to sort of ramp up their colouring skills and they want to be a bit like mum or dad and improve their colouring and impress their friends. You can show them how to do a very quick and easy gradiated look. So there we go. I'll be finishing these crystals and I will put the finished image as the thumbnail for this video so you can see it all done and dusted. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's given you another skill to add to your arsenal of skills and I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.